Okay, so you guys wanted to do a deep dive on this whole scabies outbreak in England. And, I got to admit, when I first heard about it, I was picturing like a couple of college dorms, maybe a cramped apartment complex or two.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's actually way more widespread
It is.
than that, and
Yeah.
and much more interesting.
Way more interesting, for sure. I mean, we're talking about this microscopic mite
Yeah.
that burrows under your skin, lays eggs,
Uh-huh.
and then just causes this crazy rash.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
And it's spreading like wildfire,
It is.
especially in places like universities and care homes.
Yeah, places where people are in close proximity.
There's a lot. Close contact, close quarters, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting is this NHS data
Oh, yeah.
is showing almost double the cases
Wow.
in English hospitals this year compared to last year.
No kidding.
I mean, we're talking nearly 3,700 cases.
That's a lot.
It is
So more than I thought. Yeah, the question is why this sudden surge?
right, like what's going on?
Yeah, why now?
Yeah, so we've got all these reports from the Royal College of GPs,
Mm-hmm.
kind of alarming stats from the NHS.
Yeah.
And we even have this student who shared their story,
Wow.
firsthand experience, to help us try to piece this all together.
Yeah, and I think what's fascinating is this isn't just about an annoying itch, you
Right,
know?
more than it is.
If this is left untreated, these little mites can actually cause some pretty nasty secondary skin infections.
Like, what are we talking?
We're talking impetigo.
Oh, wow.
We're talking cellulitis.
Oh,
And it can also make any existing skin conditions much, much worse.
that's a problem.
Yeah, and Professor Camilla Hawthorne from the Royal College of GPs.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
She's been quite vocal about this.
Yeah, she's been all over the news,
Yeah, she's concerned.
as she should be. I mean, I had no idea it could get that serious.
It can. It really can.
Wow, speaking of serious. I was reading about this student who noticed what they thought were just tiny red dots on their wrist. And it turns out those were the telltale burrows.
Oh.
And guess what? Their housemates had them too.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it just goes to show you how quickly this can spread in close quarters.
Exactly. Close contact is the name of the game with scabies.
Absolutely. So, I mean, why now?
Right.
Is it increased travel?
Maybe.
Is it relaxed hygiene practices post-pandemic?
It could be.
Or is it the mites themselves?
That's a good question.
Are they evolving?
Or are they getting stronger?
This is like a medical thriller or something.
I know it's a little creepy.
Okay, so before we go full on Sherlock Holmes here,
Yeah.
let's talk solutions.
Okay.
What can people actually do about this?
Well, thankfully, treatment is usually pretty straightforward.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, there are prescription creams or lotions that contain permethrin,
Okay.
and this basically paralyzes the mites.
Oh, wow. So it just like
Yeah, just stops
instant
them
down.
in their tracks.
That's good.
Yeah, but the key is that everyone who's been in close contact
Okay,
needs to be treated at the same time.
right. Because otherwise,
Yeah, otherwise it's just a game of ping pong.
right, they're just going back and forth.
Exactly, back and forth with these little critters.
Yeah, so it sounds like early detection is really key.
Absolutely.
But I was reading that Dr. Alison George, who's a GP in Northern England,
Yes, I know her.
she mentioned that a lot of people, especially young adults, are really hesitant to seek help.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're toughing it out.
Oh, no.
And then they end up in the ER when it's way worse than it needs to be.
That's too bad.
Is it just a case of, oh, it's just an itch, it'll go away?
You know, I think that's definitely part of it.
Okay.
I think there's also this stigma around scabies,
Oh, interesting.
almost like it's a sign of being unclean,
Oh, wow.
which is so far from the truth.
Right.
It can happen to anyone, and that's where I think public health messaging comes in. How can we encourage people to get checked out without feeling embarrassed?
That's a really good point.
If we can crack that, I think we can get ahead of this outbreak.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you've given us so much to think about already.
Well, it's a fascinating topic.
It is. So to wrap things up, if you are experiencing any unusual itching,
Yeah.
especially if you've been in close contact with someone who has scabies,
Hmm.
don't wait, get it checked out.
Yeah.
It's totally treatable, and early intervention can prevent a whole lot of discomfort.
Absolutely. I think that's a great takeaway. And as you learn more about this outbreak, I'd like to challenge you to consider this. What role could technology play in early diagnosis and breaking down the stigma?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Could an app help people identify potential scabies early on and connect them with resources discreetly?
Wow.
it's something to ponder.
It is food for thought,
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.